Hi guys, Craig Rivers here from Rivers and Outdoors. I wanted to do a little bit of a video, about my gear and all the stuff I carry when I go out into the bush, but you know, my pack and various things. But I come across something that kind of gave me a different thought, and I wanted to touch on that instead. Now, most of you know that I'm a rancher and been living a rural lifestyle all my life. Now, one thing we have that we have always dealt with on our ranch and farms and whatnot is what's known as baling wire. Baling wire is wire that goes around the bales of hay that you feed your livestock. Your cows, your goats, your sheep, and whatnot. And there's always, for as long as I can remember, there's been mounds of that stuff around. Because after you feed a bale or two to your cows or your whatever, your animals, you got this wire, you can't get rid of it. A lot of ranchers and farmers pile it up in a ditch, and then later, you know, just a big tangled mess, and later on they bury it. The problem is that if you leave it laying around, the animals can get trapped in it, you know, their hooves or other animals. So you got to be careful with it. However, where I'm going with this is it's a really super good resource. And if you read into some of the original old-timers that were doing bushcraft in Australia, and I have a book here, it's called Bushcraft 2. But anyway, if you read into some of these books, you'll see some examples of what they did with baling wire. Now, baling wire, you can actually make pot hangers, bird feeder hangers, you can wire fence posts together, you can make some roundabout ways, you can make hinges, and I don't know if I said this or not, but pot hangers, you can hang your lantern. Actually, if you're building a shelter, wiring all the posts and everything together would probably be better and last longer than if you use paracord or bank line or whatnot. The only thing is I don't use baling wire when I do stuff like that around here because I hate having anything that's not natural on my ranch. So I'll use like twine or something like that, because if I don't get back to where I am or I don't tear it down right away, it doesn't matter. The twine or the some of that stuff could just rot away and it isn't going to hurt a darn thing. And so I wouldn't recommend carrying around a roll of baling wire with you. This is a roll right here. Now this would go on a machine and get unwound and wrap up the bales of hay. Today they use twine. In fact, baling twine is another good resource. You can braid it together and kind of make rope out of it, and it's real strong. You can tie stuff down. I actually run a Christmas tree lot during Christmas time on my ranch, and I use a type of a baling twine to tie the trees on tops of the cars, and again, it works real well. So the other thing is that I want to talk about is I had gone through my book, and I was just kind of looking at some things, and in there is a section for toys. Now, when these people were out in the bush in the old days and they drug their kids along, you know, they had to entertain their kids. I mean, they had to do something to keep them happy. Now, there is a philosophy behind making toys, bushcraft style toys for kids. You either carve little bears or little figurines or whatever. And I was watching a video, in fact, I think it was on TV, about these guys, or I don't know, it may have been online. And they were doing a survival challenge, and they just had an Altoid can. And one of the guys that is a pretty good survivalist, he says, I don't know why you would ever want to make toys. And that really upset me. It kind of threw me off, and I've never watched that guy since. Now, the reason it's important to make toys is you need a distraction for kids. Now, if you look at some of the old World War II films, when the kids were in the subway tunnels and in the tunnels in England when they were being bombed out by the Germans, you'll see that those kids either had a dolly with them, you know, their doll, or a toy airplane or a truck or something. They always had toys. It's a kind of a thing of security and normalcy for kids. So I guess what I'm saying is if you have to bug out really fast, you got to grab your kids and animals and everything that you're going to take with you and just go. You need to be able to do things for your kids and your animals. And so toys are important. So you got to look at that and think about how you can craft toys. And toys they're not hard to make. You can carve them. Cat! That cat. I don't know what it is with me, but my animals are just ornery. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Chasing bugs. Anyway, toys are relatively simple. You can just carve something, or, you can take a couple old thread spools and make something, make a little toy train, something to set them at ease, because if you're going to be freaked out about SHT, your kids are too, because they get a learned response from how you act and what's going on. It's going to bother them, and they're going to be upset. And along with that, going back to the baling twine and some of those things, if you got a dog, or you find a dog when you're bugging out that might be a good dog, it's good to know how to braid things and do things with twine and rope and whatnot, because you might want to braid a leash or whatever. And here's my cat. Yeah, you are mean. And hey. And so, because and you're gonna have animals, and you're gonna have things that you're gonna want to take with you. At least I am. So, the baling wire, back to the baling wire, the really cool thing about it is it's just infinitely variable, the stuff you can make. You can twist it together, make a hot dog fork. You can make, I suppose, if you were handy enough, if you twisted a couple together and then twisted it and made a square, grid out of wire, you could make a little grill. Or, in all actuality, you could just push it through a piece of meat and hang the meat on the baling wire over your fire and cook your piece of meat. So, again, I wouldn't recommend carrying a roll. You're not going to carry this roll around in your backpack. But it's a good resource to look for. And in fact, after SHT and you are looking for resources, don't be afraid to cut a piece of barbed wire off of a fence, because it's a little stiffer than baling wire, and you could actually make some really good stuff out of that also. So with the sticks and whatnot, and even stones and baling wire, you can make a lot of stuff. You know, you take a stone and wrap baling wire around the stone and make a little loop, use it for a fish weight. Or you can wrap it around a stone and with a couple loops and make a bolo, or, you know, for catching animals. I believe that's what that's called. The thing with 3 stones and a string or twine or whatever, rope. So I think this is a quickie video, but that's really about all I have. I know there's some other things, but for some reason I can't really think of them right now. But there's a lot of stuff you could do. Yeah, it's not that hard. You just got to look around and learn how to utilize things and how to do things. Again, I want to touch on the toys again. That is really, really important. And even your dog toys. You got to come up with something for your dog to play with. And I know that my wife actually makes sock monkeys. If you can make rag dolls or sock monkeys, or even a piece of rope, and make some kind of funky doll looking thing for the girls, that's good. And and I have 6 grandkids, so I kind of worry about all that. I think more about what I got to do to take care of my kids and my grandkids than I do myself. I don't care. I'll survive just about anything, because you could run over me with a truck and I'll live. But I worry about the rest of the family. And I do have some neighbors I'm kind of close with, and I sort of worry about them too. And you kind of want to look out for them. It doesn't hurt to have extra pile of extra stock of blankets and flashlights and whatever you can gather, just in case, because you want to help people as much as you can. So that being said, again, this is Craig Rivers with Rivers and Outdoors, and I hope everybody's doing well out there. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Again, I'm still just getting started. I don't have a lot of videos yet, so I hope you enjoy them. If you have any comments, or you want something, if you have something you want me to discuss, by all means, comment, and again, subscribe. And I hope everybody's doing well, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.